So this session, there was initial glitch. So it's all about static friction. Now we'll be in the dynamic friction part of it now. As I said that John Powell was the great presenter. He said communication works for those who work from it. Unless and until you try to work on your communication skills, nothing will happen. The few are born with these skills. So we have to learn these skills. I myself learned a lot during my career about communication. As you were talking about communication, there are various forms of communication. Communication is a very, very vast subject, as I say. And here, it's a very vast subject. And when it covers the entire gamut from verbal communication, non-verbal communication, written communication. Listening skills also forms a part of communication. And in this session, we shall be talking about understanding communication, and we'll understand the importance of communication. And also we'll see what are the various communication styles. When I say styles, it means doesn't mean how Amitabh Bachchan communicates or how Devan communicates or how Rajesh Khanna communicates. No. We talk about three styles of communications. That is passive communication. Then we talk about aggressive communication. And then we talk about assertive communication. In the end, we'll try to give some tips on communication. As they say, communication just doesn't involve words. It involves your entire body. It involves how you speak, intonation of your voice, and of course, words as well. We'll see a small video. There will be see that same words said in a different manner has entirely different connotation. Let's see this small video.
பிக்சர் மாதிரி வந்துக்கிட்டு நம்ம அதை பார்த்துக்கலாம் அந்த ஸ்லைடு மட்டும் பார்த்துக்கலாம் இல்லைன்னா எங்கே கூப்பிடுங்க
Here, what we saw, the words "badhiya hai." These words were spoken thrice, and they meant entirely differently in three situations. One it meant he said very excitedly, "badhiya hai," and then the second time he said slightly his normal tone, "badhiya hai." And in the end, same words were spoken, "Badhiya." So the way you speak will determine what meaning your words will carry. Although they say that love has no language and प्यार की कोई भाषा नहीं होती, and then they say आंखों ही आंखों में इशारा हो गया और बैठे बैठे जीने का सहारा हो गया. So eyes speak, face speak, everything speaks, your body speaks. And sometimes you can communicate without speaking only. I remember in 80s, I went to Czechoslovakia. It was then Czech Republic and Slovakia were one nation. I was there for a conference. And one evening we were sitting in a restaurant, and it was it was communist era at that time. It was in 88. Here we were seated, and in those days, the people of Czech Republic, they all were longing for dollars. They wanted, they found any foreigner, they always try to lure him with asking him for dollars. So I was seated on a table, and there was a lady sitting across another table. She said to me, change, change. Meaning dollar, 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 change, change, change. Then I said, how much? I asked, what is the rate which you will give me for $1? Without saying anything. He said 30 crowns I'll give you. I said, nothing doing. And she said, I said no. And she said, I said no. I mean, we could communicate. I didn't knew their language. She never knew my language. But we were able to communicate without words. So, what I want to say is that communication involves your entire body, your eyes, your gestures, and everything. So, in this session, we shall be starting with getting the understanding what is the importance of communication. Communication basically involves the sender. There is a person who wants to say something, and there is a person who receives that message. And main purpose is to get the message across. But between these two, there is a lot of scope of error, and this will cause some confusion. And as they say that communication is effective when both sender and the receiver perceive it in the same fashion. I remember a few days back, my wife asked me, get some dhania from the market. वो बोली जाओ धनिया ले आओ. I went to the market, brought dhania leaves. When he came back, he said, ये थोड़ी मंगाया था. I didn't ask for this dhania. I asked for dry dhania. I again went back to the market and brought साबुत धनिया से बोलते हैं साबुत धनिया. The seeds of dhania I brought. Came back to the house. I said, "This is your dhania." Said, "ये थोड़ी मंगाया था मैंने तो पिसा हुआ धनिया मंगाया था. Ground dhania I wanted, ground coriander powder." I went back to the shop once again. Brought dhania powder, dried dhania powder. Said, "Look, this is your dhania powder. Take it." बोले ये थोड़ी मंगाया था. आप तो एवरेस्ट का ले आए. You brought the Everest brand. I wanted MDH brand. So I again went back and brought the MDH brand for her. She said, ये क्या ले आए? मैंने बड़ा वाला पैकेट मंगाया था, आप छोटा पैकेट ले आए. मैंने कहा था कि 100 ग्राम का लाना है और आप तो एक पाउच ले आए. I again went back and I brought that 100 grams MDH dhania powder, coriander powder. So what I want to say is that communication is only complete when what I think, I want, and what I want to say, same thing is interpreted by the receiver in the same way. Or else I'll keep shuffling between the shop and the house, and dhania powder will never arrive. So, as they say that our mind is like a computer. You know, it's like it works like a computer. And what happens is that while you're working on a computer, there are a lot of windows you open. You keep open your email, your window of some job, some work, some PowerPoint presentation is also open. Similarly, our mind works. So many windows open all the time. So the listener listens what he or she wants to listen. This is very important aspect. This thing I learned during my lifetime, that a person listens only the things which he or she wants to listen. And for good communication, the expression of thought and feeling is very important. You must express your thoughts and feelings, and effective listening of the expressed concept. This is very important. And in entire my career, what I've learned is everything is all about communication. What I wanted to say, what words I chose to express that, and how they were interpreted with whom I was communicating. That will decide whether I will have a fulfilling interpersonal relationships or not, whether it will improve my interaction with people or not. Everything is dependent upon this communication. Now we'll try to understand how the communication cycle works. Here there is a sender who wants to say something. And when I want to say something, I will think in my mind. And then I will frame some words to say that. It's called encoding. And then I'll be using a medium, verbal medium, to express that to the person to whom I intend to make that message understand. And then there is a person who is the receiver, and that receiver will decode what I want to say. And that person will receive that, and he or she will decode that message based on his or her own experiences, based on his or her own conditioning. And here they will listen only what they want to listen. And in between, there is a noise, there is so many things going around in our world around us, and there is a feedback mechanism. Whether the receiver is giving some feedback to the sender or not. That will decide that message is understood or not. To understand this concept, let's see a small video. What we saw in this video was that the person who was driving a car wanted to say something. He wanted a message to the little boy, Natkhat boy. What that car driver was saying? अबे देख, लग रहा है नहीं लग रहा है? लग रहा है नहीं लग रहा है? लग रहा है क्या? लग रहा है क्या? So what boy understood? He understood that जब लग जाएगा तब बता दूंगा, क्योंकि वो बार बार बोल रहा है, अबे लग रहा है नहीं लग रहा है, लग रहा है क्या देख, लग रहा है क्या देख। ऐसे ही वो लग गया तो लड़का बोला अब लग गया। And now we have to see what message the car driver actually wanted it to be conveyed to the little boy. He wanted him to understand कि लगने से पहले you alert me. And the boy interpreted that जब लग जाए तब बताना है. So we see what we want to say and how it is interpreted. These are two entirely different things. So the theory of communication says first level is encoding the message. Encoding, as I said earlier, it involves what words I shall be using, what tone of voice I shall be using, and what body language I shall be using. This is called encoding when I need to send a message. And then second level is transmission. When I've decided that I'll use this transmission media, I'll be speaking or I shall be just gesturing or what, then that message is transmitted. And third level is called decoding. And decoding involves how he or she interprets the message and what meaning I impart to the message. And fourth level is the response which the receiver gives to the sender. So these four words, encoding, transmission, decoding, and response, these will decide whether the communication takes place in a proper manner, which I intend or not. And if anything is missing, then we'll have a crash landing as we saw in the video which we just now saw. So this theory says message that is sent must be interpreted in the same way as the sender intends it to be understood. As we saw in the example of dhania, when my wife wanted a dry dhania powder of MDH brand, 100 grams, she wanted to say something, I interpreted in my own way. This interpretation, particularly in passive communication, takes place a lot because our conditioning, if we refer to the transaction analysis part, what we are conditioned to respond and conditioned to hear is, as a child, well, we are given a lot of instructions by our parents who say everything from the controlling parent, CP, which we call it in transaction analysis. They say everything from a controlling parent and be here as a child. So they are communicating in a different posture, and as a receiver, we act as a passive receiver or passive communicator. This conditioning since our childhood is carried out in our professional life as well. And why this happens? To explain this phenomenon, I use an example. It's a story by Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was a great scientist. He was once invited to a lecture in Germany when sometime in early 30s, when the World War has not started. He was invited there for a lecture. There, in that lecture, he was asked, "Sir, how you became such a great scientist?" Albert Einstein said, "The entire credit of my success goes to my mother. But greatness, little bit of greatness I could achieve was all because of my mother." So everybody says like that. Role models are normally parents or immediate siblings or your teachers and all that. So people said, "Sir, what great thing your mother did and our mother did not do that you became so great." So Einstein said, it's very good question, very pertinent question here. He said, when I was a kid, around 5 years of age, my mother used to take me to the bus stop for going to school. She used to drop me to the bus stop so that I can catch the bus to school. And after the school finished, she used to come to that bus stop to receive me at the bus stop. So whenever I came back from the school, she used to ask me a question. Now I have a question for all of you. You can answer me on the chat. When you were kids, particularly younger ones, when you came back from the school, what questions your mother asked? In our days, nobody took us the pain to drop us at the bus station. We used to walk alone. But when my son was growing, my daughter was growing up, my wife used to take them to the bus station and bring them. Normally, the questions which mothers used to ask is, what happened in the school? Sangeeta is saying, how was your day? Anjana is saying, how was your day? My wife used to ask me, खाना खाया कि नहीं खाया? Did you complete your tiffin or not? Similar questions everybody asked. But Einstein said, my mother never asked this question. Audience said, so what your mother asked? How did your day go? Paramita is saying, how did your day go? These questions everybody asks. Now, Einstein said, my mother used to say, Albert, what question you asked in the class? तुमने आज क्लास में क्या प्रश्न पूछा? When you were listening to the classroom, to your teacher, what question came to your mind? What question you asked? That question, that urge to know something made Einstein great. When I ask this question in the class, everybody gives similar responses. And I say that any questions, when the session is over, I say any questions, people hardly raise any hand. Then I say, nobody is raising hand, it means there are two things happening. One is that you have understood everything, so no questions need to be asked. And another can be, you have not understood anything. Now it's impossible to understand everything. So the answer will be that you have hardly understood anything. So the question needs to be asked. But how are we conditioned? At our house, they are conditioned to accept what parents say. पापा ने बोल दिया ये करना है, ये करना है, ऐसे करना है. हम ज़्यादा जानते हैं. We know better. We have so much experience. Go to the school. Teacher says I know everything. We don't ask questions. Teachers feel very uncomfortable when they are asked questions. Same thing goes on in the class. Every teacher says, मैं जानता हूँ वो ठीक है. We recall the movie Three Idiots. When first day the Rancho goes to the class and he says, he's laughing and he's saying, class में हंस क्यों रहे हो? तो Rancho said, सर बहुत दिन से ख्वाब था कि इंपीरियल कॉलेज ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग में एडमिशन मिलेगा और यहाँ के कुछ नया सीखने को मिलेगा, बड़ा मजा आ रहा है. What teacher says, ज्यादा मजा लेने की जरूरत नहीं है, जो बताया है वो करो. And then the question which he asked him, कि मशीन क्या होती है, and you remember everything what he said. What I want to say is that our responses are conditioned by our experiences. These responses, when we go back to work, we give same responses to our bosses. And as they say, good bosses ask the subordinates to raise questions. But we hardly have those enlightened good bosses. Good bosses want to hear what they want to hear. And then the subordinates will say what their boss wants to hear. There, that organization will go nowhere. Because when listening stops, communication properly does not work. You only say what you want to say. Because of your condition to say that only. Don't open up. Then that organization will go nowhere. So that was why our responses are in that way. Now we come to, till now we have understood what's the importance of the communication. We have understood what is communication, how it works. Now we'll come to our main topic which we will be discussing today, that is heart to heart communication. दिल को ऐसी बात करें कि दिल को दिल से राह बने, आंखों ही आंखों में इशारा हो जाए, आप जो कहना चाह रहे हैं मैं समझ जाऊं और बात ठीक से समझ आ जाए और बात पूरी हो. Here, when we talk about communication, we say that percentage of communication is done. We say 55% is visual, 38% is vocal, and 7% is, only just 7% is verbal. Now what is visual? Visual is our body language, how we are speaking, how our entire body, when we speak, it's not just our lips which are speaking, it's our entire body, our eyes, tilt of our head, our body posture, everything speaks. And 38% is vocal. When we say vocal, it's the tone of the voice, how you intone, how much energy are you bringing, and only 7% is words. Supposing I had started my session with saying, friends, very good morning to you all. I welcome you all to this session on communication. In this session, we shall be talking about the importance of communication, the three styles of communication, and we'll give you tips on communication. If I use this body posture, this energy level, this tone, it will, does, when I say very good morning, is the morning appearing good to you? You can tell in your chat box. When I just say good morning, does the morning appear good to you? No. Ami says no. Vincent also says no, no. Now we say hello, welcome, very good morning friends, how are you? Welcome to this session on communication skills. Today in this session, we shall be talking about importance of communication, styles of communication, and we give you some tips on communication. So, the words which I used earlier were exactly same what the words which I used now. So Kanchan says now it's creating interest. So it's not just what I am saying, it's how I am saying, the way I am communicating. That is the most important part of communication skill which need to understand. अगर सुबह सुबह उठ के वाइफ को मैं गुड मॉर्निंग प्यार से नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मम्मी से मिलता हूँ, मम्मी गुड मॉर्निंग, मम्मी की मॉर्निंग कभी गुड नहीं होगी अगर एनर्जी लेवल नहीं. तो we need to understand words have very little meaning. It's the way you say that carries all meaning. Friends, there is an interesting story. One experiment was conducted by Harvard on communication. Harvard invited sportsmen, sports writers, sports coaches to give a talk on sports medicine. And they trained a very good public speaker to talk about sports medicine. And the audience was sportsmen, coaches, sports writer, everybody. And the presenter presented in a very beautiful way. Everybody applauded at the end of that talk. क्या बात है, क्या बात थी, beautiful, मजा आ गया, आनंद आ गया. Then when the talk was over, Harvard people disclosed whatever was said during the talk was gibberish, फालतू, बेकार. It had no meaning. कोई मतलब ही नहीं था उसका. It was all gibberish, all false theories. But audience applauded. What does that say? People hardly hear words. लोग जो है ना शब्दों पे ध्यान नहीं देते हैं. इस पे ध्यान देते हैं कैसे बात की जा रही है. You recall the movie Amar Parenzani, in the song अमिताभ जी बोलते हैं, you see the whole country of the system is supposition by the hemoglobin. Because one sophisticated rhetorician who is intoxicated by the exuberance of his own verbosity. What? My name is Anthony Gonzalez. अब क्या बोला अमिताभ बच्चन ने? When we hear the song बड़ा मजा आता है. अमिताभ बच्चन बोलते हैं. कुछ समझ आया किसी को क्या बोला अमिताभ जी ने? लेकिन मजा आया सर. You know what he says? See, the whole country of the system is juxtaposition by the hemoglobin in the atmosphere. Because you are a sophisticated rhetorician, who is intoxicated by the exuberance of his own verbosity. अब कोई मीनिंग नहीं है, लेकिन मजा आ गया. What I want to say is that words carry little meaning. हम कैसे कहा जाता है, हम अंदाजे बयां पे जाते हैं. अंदाजे बयां पे कैसे कहा गया है, क्या कहा गया है. So in communication we need to understand what is our अंदाजे बयां or how we say. What is the tone of our voice? What is the body language? Words का तो कुछ खास meaning है ही नहीं. So now we come on to understand. When we saw that video of Candyman, when we are communicating, we have an intent. We have an intent that how my words should be interpreted. But what was the result in case of Candyman? अब लग गया. So we want to close the gap between what we intend, what the result we want, and what result we actually get. So for the communication to be effective, this is the most important thing which I learned in my life. Assume value in what other people have to say. When you listen with the intent to understand, you just don't assume what he will say. Don't jump to the conclusion what he or she will say. Then your understanding will improve. Then the communication will start getting effective. There is a book by Daniel Kahneman. Daniel Kahneman is a Nobel Prize winner, and he wrote a book, Thinking Fast and Slow. It's a fantastic book, how the human mind works. I recommend it to all of you that all of you must read that. इससे जिंदगी के मायने बदल जाएंगे. The way you understand life. It's a very tough read. It's a very small print. It's a very thick book. Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. He was an economist. He wrote a book on how the mind works. There he says our mind is prone to jumping to conclusions. Jumping to conclusions, we assume that he or she will say, yeah. The book is Thinking Fast and Slow. Thinking Fast and Slow. And it is, the author is Daniel Kahneman, Kahneman. He's a Nobel Prize winner for economy. He's a great economist. And what he says is that we jump to conclusions. We just assume that he or she will say something, and we think that he will say that, and we assume he or she is saying that. So, first thing in effective communication is assume value in what other people have. Then this will show your intent to understand. Then you will be able to understand what he is saying, what he is describing, what his beliefs or things are. Another thing for effective communication is that all of you, some of you are professionals as well, as I understand. You must be having subordinates and your bosses. You have to realize that people are not difficult. People are different. Once you come to this proposition, people are not difficult, they are different. They are only difficult to the extent We do not have skills to deal what they bring to the table. But lack of knowledge makes the situation. Once you understand that, then the communication with your bosses, with your subordinates, with your spouse, with your sons or daughters, parents, everything will start. So two things for effective communication is assume value, what other people have to say, and people are not difficult, they are different, and we do not have the skills which they are bringing to the table. So now we come to the communication styles. As earlier I had said, when I say there are three styles basically: passive communication, aggressive communication, and assertive communication. By speaking in three different tones, I tried to explain what is passive communication, what is aggressive communication, and what is assertive communication. Friends, we'll start with the passive communication. And as I had earlier said, our conditioning since our childhood makes us, a lot of people, very passive dealing when we are dealing with our bosses, dealing with our parents. Although the times are changing now, the way I deal with my son of my generation entirely different. I deal in with entirely adult to adult communication, not the controlling parent and with the child CP and child states. So first we'll understand what is passive communication. In passive communication, you are allowing your own rights to be violated by failing to express your feelings, your thoughts. You are just accepting what your boss is saying. ऐसे कर लो, do this, do that, do this. You are trying to avoid the conflict. Conflict will not go away. You are just trying to avoid. Some other day, this will be exploding. Risk involved is very little, but in the long term, lot of risk. And how it works, very little eye contact, deferring to others' opinion. Your tone is very quiet, but one day it will come that you will be exploding like anything. Now we'll see a short video where we'll see how this passive communication is working. So what we saw here, the body language of Amol Palekar, the hero. Amol Palekar wanted to make eye contact, and when Asrani says, "आप तो दही बड़ा खाएंगे ना?" So Asrani is asking a lead question, and Amol Palekar is unable to refuse. Passively accepts कि आपने मंगा दिया तो वही खा लेंगे. He's not trying to make eye contact. और वो Asrani पूछता है, कुछ बीमार है क्या? When you are passive communicator, your body language says you are sick. So that this is how body language, which is just referring to others' opinion. टोन भी बहुत क्वाइट थी, नाम क्या है, नाम बता रहा है. सो पैसिव कम्युनिकेटर कुछ इस प्रकार के नहीं होते. विद ऑल डिफरेंस टू द अवर लेडीज, क्या कह रहे हैं आप? यू कैन टेल इन योर चैट बॉक्स. What does this indicate? How is the passive communicator coming across? कैसा निकल के आ रहा है कि जो कहने वाले ने कह दिया frustrated, yeah, Paramita says frustrated, very sad, tears are rolling down his eyes, and he's not sure about himself, overloaded, irritated, Sangeeta ji irritated, Bhavini, Kanchana. So he's unable to say what he wants to say. Burden. I'll give my example here, accepting everything. 2 years back, around 5 years back, we were deciding that my son will get married, and my wife used to say, I have my own house. It's a 3-bedroom house, and my wife used to say कि हम एक ऊपर कमरा बनाएंगे छत पे एक और, we'll construct one. I felt that it's not required, so I was just saying हाँ देख लेंगे. I was mostly quiet when she always used to say एक कमरा ऊपर बनाएंगे, एक कमरा ऊपर बनाएंगे. So I never expressed my views, and my silence was taken as okay. And finally, my son's marriage was fixed, and it was decided that after 1 year he'll get married. My wife said, "ऊपर मकान कमरा बनाओ." He said, "It's not required." बोले 2 साल से आप मुझे बता रहे हो कि कमरे हाँ करते जा रहे हो, ना नहीं कर रहे हो. It's not required because my son is working in USA. Both of them will go to USA. My daughter is studying in Delhi. She'll pick up some job and go away. What will do with extra 2 rooms? So finally, I was very passive when I was communicating with her. And when I finally put my foot down, no, extra kamra nahi banega. Since she exploded, we had a big showdown. Ultimately, I realized that I should have started asserting my opinion when she said extra kamra banana hai. From then on, I started expressing my views. Let me talk later how to express that. I stopped being a passive communicator because it created a lot of bad blood. So, what are the traits of the passive communicator? If you are, somebody is telling you something and you say, I don't know, then you are a very passive communicator. You say, जो तुम चाहोगे, whatever you think, means you are not expressing your opinion, you are just accepting what he or she has to say. A passive communicator will say, you know better, you decide. He'll say that I'll go with whatever the group decides. I have no opinion of myself. He'll say, I don't care, doesn't matter to me. He will keep on accepting, yes sir, he will say yes, yes, yes. Boss will say, aisa kar do, yes, he will say yes. Wife will say yes, yes. I will no, nothing doing. He will be exploding like anything. Because ultimately, your pent up feelings will one day explode. There is a chat, in chat box somebody has said that email पे भी कुछ हम feedback दें. Actually, email etiquette is a separate topic. We'll take up sometime later because this is communication. We'll be talking about styles of communication. So we're talking about how a passive communicator works, how he or she suffers. You are getting your identity lost. People will stop respecting you because you're not respecting yourself. By not expressing opinion on anything, you are subsuming your identity in another identity. So this is the passive communication. So now we'll understand what is aggressive communication. Aggressive communication. A person who is an aggressive communicator is only protecting his or her own rights, and that too at the expense of other rights. And the goal of aggressor is to win at all costs, to be right. He thinks he's right. No, he's righteous, not right. There's a difference between righteous and right. Righteous is what you think, not considering another's opinion. Do not consider actions as a risk, because he thinks that he will get his or her way. We have many colleagues, some friends as well, जो कहते हैं कि जो मैं कह रहा हूँ वो ठीक है. And this watch his body language, is angry, intimidating, extra energy, loud and belittling others, never defers to others, and this is very important. Manipulative and controlling, and they use verbal abuse and all. These are the traits of an aggressive communicator. We'll see a short video, very interesting video. Many of you must have seen this video as well. You'll understand what is aggressive communication is all about. Please give your opinion on this aggressive communication in your chat box. So that was that. An example of aggressive communication. जो मैं कह रही हूँ कौन था कौन थी, body language is very very aggressive. So you can see the traits of an aggressive communicator. कोकिला बहन जो बोल रही थी, she was aggressive, and another person जो गोपी बहू और राशि है वो बहुत ही सुपर पैसिव मैं कहूँगा. So we understand aggressive communication. So what was the body language? Can you share? What was indicating the aggression? Eyebrows, eyes wide open, strong grin. So same thing was communicated in the, you can tell in your chat box what are your observations. Firmness is different, aggression, not firmness. Firm is different and this is different. Facial expressions, the tone of your voice and eyes, आँखें सब कुछ high pitch. Nobody tries to understand each other. The same. So we'll see what are the examples. An aggressive communicator will say, I don't know, why can't you see it this way? This is the right way. जो मैं कह रहा हूँ वो ठीक है. Will say this is my way or highway. You are just stupid. You don't think that will work. बॉसेस अक्सर बोलते हैं जो मैं कह रहा हूँ वो करो. हमें 20 साल का अनुभव है. We have been doing this thing for the past 13 years. In your heart you might be saying, 30 साल से वो गलती कर रहे हो, क्या मैं भी वो गलती करूं? But you must say something. An aggressive communicator will never care how you feel. Feelings की बहुत importance. Who cares what you feel? हमें सिर्फ काम से मतलब है. You're worried about making things work only. So this is about aggressive communication. So we have understood what is passive communication, what is aggressive communication. अब कौन सा communication करना है? When we are communicating, we have needs, others' needs. But we need to find a center point, a midway between your need and my need. Here comes the assertive communication part of it. Now, what is assertive communication? This is the communication which I found to be very, very useful in my personal life, my professional life. Assertive communication will protect your own rights without violating others' rights. सबका अधिकार है कहने का. अब उनकी बात भी सुन रहे हैं, अपनी बात भी रख रहे हैं. Assertive communication communicates with respect. The single most important trait of assertive communication. Everybody desires respect. It needs respect. Be it a child of 6 months old, be it old man, be it the young people, everybody wants respect. And everybody understands what respect is all about. It tries to understand, and we are looking at the solution to the problem. When I conduct classes, I always say in the classroom, in dictionary, we have a word called problem. In stationery, we have the word called solution. So assertive communicator tries to find solution. It may appear to be risky in the short run, but in the long term, relationships are much stronger. As I say, people are conditioned to be passive. I remember one day, my ED called me, our head of the unit, and he wanted to talk to me about the vocational training which we give to the students. So we are a PSU, and so lot of students come to BHL Hyderabad for training. What happens is that in 2 months period, we have around 5,000-6,000 students coming for training. There's a lot of crowding in the plant. My ED called me, said, "Look, Rajesh, so many people are coming. There's a lot of chaos. भीड़ हो रही है, disturbance हो रही है production में, ये वो." But I presented my part, my view on the subject. He said, "Sir, these are students to whom private companies are not giving training. We being a PSU, we have our own social responsibility. That's why we are doing this. We are earning some money also when we do this. And we are calling the students only for half a day. So there is not much disturbance." So I put my views across. When the meeting finished,
Hello. So pardon me, your voice is breaking.
hello, now it's clear? Hello?
Rajesh sir?
Yes. Yeah, now it's
Hello?
clear? Hello? I'm able to communicate?
जी, it's clear, sir.
Hello? Yeah.
You may
Yeah.
get a bit louder, sir.
Yeah, I'll get a little bit louder.
Hello.
So what I'm saying is that when my